Yo, morning guys, welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. This is the psychiatric self-therapeutic process as well as like self-improvement process. So you can consider all of this one whole 14-minute stream broken down into maybe 8 or 9 different segments. Of course, if you would like a summary introduction into the Ahn Rho Project, how we break it down to domains of life, sub-series, analogies, and all that kind of jazz, you can find out in the previous live stream for the past 3.5 years, straight up to January 2021. It's all over there. So with that being said, the table of contents, so basically what we want to cover today, I'm going to try to keep it brief here. What we want to do is just cover, first of all, in photography. As usual, we have this diet, nutrition, all this bunch of food here that we received from my guardian. So there's a class 2 items, things we're not supposed to eat, where there's safety items as well as food. When I scroll down here after the photography session of all that kind of food, we're going to move over to the screenshot here, which is on the left hand side, got to do with philosophy and also I guess media, because it is on Instagram and so on and so forth. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. After that, it's going to be the 5th segment, which I usually remove everything and then we stand up, we try and get a little bit more active, and we try to cover the logistics of the room. And things have changed dramatically. If you see in the middle right there, it's pretty much empty compared to yesterday's. Like I said, I finally managed to move the mattresses outside the room, and we had to reorient everything on region D2 and soon D1 as well. So we're going to cover that in a second, as well as the actual items, like the ones that we have photographs of, the masks and the food, and a little bit of issues with binge eating there. So with that being said, after covering that 5th segment, we're going to dive into the 6th because it transitions well into fitness. And basically, I have an Excel database here on my laptop, so it's going to get digital. And the point is, I really was not taking care of myself yesterday because, I had to work up some stuff with my brother returning, and then there was a bunch of stuff, moving stuff around, and then that got to me as well. Yesterday was not a pleasant day at the workplace, unfortunately. So then that dives into the 7th segment, which we sit down right here where I am right now, and then we just talk about things like relationships and employment and business, stuff that's been on my mind, like concepts that I can't really show you or visualize. Last but not least, 8th segment and 8th and 9th segment. 8 is just responding to your comments. If you have any questions at the very bottom, if you have some funny memes, some jokes, whatever, it's all right there. And last but not least, the take-home message. So before we dive into it, I will say, of course, that the most important portion was probably is going to be like region section 8, segment 8, which says at the very top, it says don't matter. Just coming to some terms of some things in the morning. Was waking up, and I was really bothered for the past like 2 to 3 hours in the morning. Just could not get myself out of bed. A lot of stuff flowing through my mind about relationships and workplace and stuff like that. So that's a highlight. 2 things. We're going to try to be real, raw, and genuine. Means we have to be I want to be honest, right? So we want to cover the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if there are emotional insecurities, it doesn't matter, or baggage. I'm not going to stray away. I'm not going to stray away from non-PC topics. We will cover things that may be negative. Moving on, we also have the fact that this is supposed to be a high utility stream. So second point is supposed to be beneficial to me. If not to any of you, at least it has to be useful for me. So with that being said, let's get started. So let's start with the photography and the items. So this is like inventory. Think of food, diet, nutrition. We have here in the middle, I guess, just like a panel shot of everything. In the middle, the nutritional facts, as well as the milk chocolate PC brand from my caregivers. I saw this at No Frills once. I didn't buy it. It was for 77 cents, so that's about as cheap as you can possibly get for 100 grams. So I guess my paternal predecessor, my guardian, actually he wanted to get himself. So we want to set the trips. Obviously, he did his own thing. He bought it and just gave me some yesterday. While he was we were checking out the room with my brother. On the very bottom, we have this stuff here. I think I covered this yesterday. I'm not sure, but it's basically some melon and some sardines. Oh shit! Yeah, I ate some food that I wasn't supposed to. And then we also have some of the Pringle chips up there. Now, I think I talked about this yesterday, but you can just keep this as a side memento that the stuff that you see there in the middle doesn't look that great. The sardines and Chinese winter melon and stuff like that. There's another dish I ate that's like tomatoes and pork. Once again, just me kind of eating things that I'm not supposed to that make me feel uncomfortable, so I'm just really hurting myself here. There we go at the top. That's what it is. So there's that pork stuff. We're gonna get some higher res photographs very soon on the screen. so that you can actually make a better picture of this. And then the finally last thing here in this burst snapshot are the masks on the left hand side, which again you will see this in my room very shortly. So the white mask over there is just from one of the auto companies that my paternal predecessor, my guardian, works for. So I'll get rid of that. And so that's a bunch of class 2 items that I actually not eating. So let's pull up the higher res photographs. Here's a PC milk chocolate, you can see that. Toasted coconut, it says a product of France. And here's the back, the nutritional facts right here. Again, not healthy at all. It's just something that you purchased because it was on sale and cheap, and you just get to eat it once in a while. So it's just some sugar, high on fat. But coconut is a favorite flavor, and it was particularly cheap. Here's the pork tomato dish that I'm not supposed to eat, also cooked up by them. Right now it's pretty much just them and my brother eat. I don't eat that stuff. And then we have the pleated masks here that were on the thumbnail. If I close up its region, you can see it's a region B7. That's B7 next to the closet. And here's a pleated mask, so it's a class 2 item. 1, 2, remove all that jazz. I think we've covered everything, and so I'm going to zoom out on this. Okay, great. So we're done the inventory and the photographs. Let's move on to the middle, on the left-hand panel here. From Stoic Reflections, once again, one of my favorite pages, and pretty much like within one of like 3 pages that I follow on Instagram. That's about it. We have Stoic Reflections because I never realized, but when I was a kid, I was practicing a lot of Stoic and minimalist philosophy. And psychological tricks to keep myself sane. And so this is basically, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall, by Confucius. Now once again, it's not stuff that I would have known as a kid in terms of other people who say this. It's just, this is the stuff I had to practice and derive on my own. And then I found out many years later in the future that, in fact, there's a huge base of people who already throughout society and throughout the ages come up with these certain principles, and they have fleshed it out. So there's just I guess showing some gratitude for Confucius and Stoic reflection. So something that helps you to keep afloat throughout the challenges in life. So it's time to get up now. Let's get up. This is a region. So this is my room, right? So let's get up. This region D1, D2 is now empty. You can see. Like I said yesterday, there were 2 mattresses, one in front, one in the back. Moved it over to my brother's room, so he's returned back from, his education. And basically, I took off all the stuff on top of D2 and moved over here into several locations. The first one is over here. So this region D3, D4. You see the donation clothing at the very bottom. On top is the winter clothing that I still wear, even though it's in April, May. We got the gas bed that was on top of D2. The mattresses, and it's now here, and I haven't shifted. Again, the idea is to move this all against the wall, and then have this on top, but so that it has something to lean on. But it seems like right now it's already looking pretty good, so I may or may not change it. But one thing's for sure, I had to wash within the next week or so the winter clothing here. Obviously I'm not gonna keep wearing this into June. It's May right now, I can still wear it, but after that, no. So we have all the stuff here. We have the toilet paper, we have the electronics even, and some safety, and some safety guards, shin guards, panels over here, the sandals, the clothing. So all this stuff was on top of region D2, around this region, and it's all moved down here, including even the laundry stuff, which we need to take care of today, tomorrow morning, actually tonight. We're gonna wake up. Yeah, we're gonna wake up tonight. We're gonna wake up tonight or tomorrow night, which is like around 12, hopefully, about 1 a.m. and we're gonna do the laundry. So that's the stuff there. Now you can also see that I moved some stuff over. Now D1, by the way, hasn't changed all too much. It's kind of like it's still, I don't know. I took some food away. So now region B1 has one extra, the peanut. Now what? Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about here. In D2, we moved some stuff over to D4. We also moved some stuff over to B7. So you can see here, there's that terrific brand like wet mops, stuff like that. We also have this kind of like air freshener, Hawaiian Oasis, whatever. It's just, and then as well as the class 2 item, the pleated mask, that's very thick. So it's right here. So this is all new stuff, and I just put it here because it's all got to do with sanitation and toiletry, stuff like that. Moving back down here, you can see also the food in region A5, not supposed to belong there, right? That's just a mess, really. All that stuff here was again in region D2 on top of the 2 mattresses. I've moved it over to here A5. It's not supposed to belong here. The spoons, the food, the bowl and stuff. And then we have finally the laundry detergent. I just don't have space, so I just put it here. I'm not gonna put that up there because I feel like I'm gonna forget. So I have to figure this all out somehow. We still have garbage here. I gotta toss this stuff away. We have this junk food here. We have this kind of canister that's empty now. Maybe keep it as a sample. I don't know. But yeah, so that's logistics, and now it's time to take a look at fitness because we'll sit down here. So digital databasing. Okay, so we have the left hand on the right hand side. My life, my right, your left, whatever. Moving on. Okay, we would have a database here, but I guess I don't have it pulled up. It's basically fitness, and basically yesterday I binge ate. So you can see all the food here that I should not have eaten, as well as the food here on the left hand side, region B 1 and 2. Once again, just coming back from work and being really, why can't I get rid of my negativity? Why can't I get rid of this, overthinking or whatever it is? It's really bothering me because, again, I'm being bothered by being bothered, right? It's stupid. It's nonsense, nonsense. And so we're going to touch upon that right now. So we're going to move on to the 8th segment right now, straight into the workplace environment. And so obviously between the, like I said, the domestic issues, depression, the beatings, the anger management, the financial ruin, disease linked into employment, and then just all sorts of garbage and stuff like that throughout my life, growing up, poverty, shit, all that kind of stuff, moving around to like 5 different places within a decade. The point is, seems like not only have I hold back, I'm not only just unable to reach, I haven't received any, I wasn't able to focus my time, energy, and attention on positive things, but I also was dragged down by the negative influences as well. So it's like, that's annoying, all right? So you still have to take responsibility and move forward. So I was trying to resolve this morning. Like I said, 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning, 2 to 3 hours in the morning. I wake up and I didn't roll up. I just kept rolling back and forth, wondering what I should do about it, because with my colleagues in gym at the front, they're all fantastic people. I know I'm holding them back. I'm trying to just leave, but obviously with the pandemic, I'm not going to leave them hanging without anybody. So I still am kind of stuck there with them, and they still have to put up with me, and it's driving me nuts. But so it's like, how do I become better? How do I just become a better person to work with for the meantime that I'm still there with them, at the very least. And I'm trying to go, okay, so there's some stuff here on the top right hand side that says, well, it just says don't matter. Stuff just refers to all the items I receive from my garden and stuff. I'm moving things around logistically, but don't matter, irrelevant. So at the end of the day, what's been really bugging my colleagues is that I just am so negative, and I allowed it to get to me. And I was like, but I don't want to people please either, because I know that they all have different expectations out of me, and I don't give a shit about their expectations, and I shouldn't. So how do I reconcile this idea to keep true to myself while also still, being considerate of them? How do I reconcile this? And then at the end of the day, I just recognize, if they really care a damn about me, the fact is they wouldn't want me to cave way to their demands. And that's not a revelation or anything. I've always recognized this, but acting it out is so much different. So there's like 10, 15, 20, 25 different scenarios and envisionments or even content quotes, you could say. They ask me, like, how are you doing? It's irrelevant. How are you doing? That's all that matters. You're doing great? Awesome, amazing. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it moving. Stuff like, it doesn't matter how I'm feeling. It doesn't matter as long as I'm feeling shit. Whatever, it doesn't matter. As far as I'm concerned, here's another thing. By the time you understand, it'll be too late. Like, all these different scenarios, I have to bag it up and patch it up. I don't have the structure behind the solution, but it's all messy. And I came to some terms that basically I'm just gonna keep moving forward. Yeah, here's another one. What's most important is that you're still, for some goddamn reason, you're still putting up with me, and I'm not giving up on you. So, like all this kind of stuff, it's so whatever. Anyways, I can't deliver a take-home message right now, but yeah, just do it. Take care of your health and finances, whatever. Hope to see a better version of you as myself next time tomorrow morning. Ciao. Gotta work overtime.